The Balkan Peninsula has long been a critical transit zone. Its unique geographic position, bridging the east and the west, makes it a strategic corridor. This is true for legitimate trade and travel, but it is also true for illegal activities. Organized crime networks exploit these historic routes for smuggling drugs, weapons, and most tragically, people. Countries like Croatia, Serbia, Bosnia and Herzegovina, Montenegro, Albania, and Bulgaria form a pathway for traffickers moving their victims toward Western Europe. The complex web of borders and diverse legal systems creates opportunities for these criminal groups to operate and evade justice, turning the region into a hotspot for human trafficking. Human trafficking in this region is not a simple, single crime. It is deeply intertwined with other forms of organized crime, creating a dangerous and complex challenge for law enforcement. Trafficking networks often use the same routes and methods as those used for smuggling narcotics or firearms. This overlap means that a police investigation into one crime can often uncover another. People fleeing war, poverty, or persecution from places like Syria, Afghanistan, and Pakistan are especially vulnerable. These migrants and refugees rely on smugglers to cross borders, but they often fall into the hands of traffickers who exploit them for labor or sexual purposes, turning their hope for a better life into a nightmare. The journey through the Balkans is filled with immense peril for these vulnerable individuals. The routes are controlled by ruthless and often violent criminal gangs. As border controls tighten in one country, the flow of people is simply redirected through another, pushing them into even more dangerous situations. For example, when Serbia increased its border patrols, many migrants were forced to attempt the treacherous crossing into Bosnia and Herzegovina. This constant shifting of routes makes it difficult for authorities to predict and intercept the traffickers. The victims, stranded in unfamiliar lands with no money or support, become easy prey for criminals who promise safe passage, but deliver only exploitation and suffering. The very nature of this crime makes it difficult to fight. Victims are often too scared to come forward. They fear retaliation from their traffickers, and they may also fear the authorities due to their irregular immigration status. The criminals are part of sophisticated networks that operate across multiple countries, making coordination between different police forces essential, but also very challenging. They use advanced technology to communicate and are skilled at hiding their tracks. For the police in the Balkans, tackling human trafficking requires not just vigilance and bravery, but also a deep understanding of the complex criminal landscape that defines this deeply rooted regional problem. Despite the immense challenges, police forces across the Balkan region are actively fighting back against these criminal networks and achieving significant results. Recent operations show a clear commitment to dismantling trafficking rings and bringing perpetrators to justice. In a dramatic case, in February 2025, Serbian police successfully rescued a 23-year-old Turkish citizen who had been kidnapped in the city of Novi Sad. The organized crime group had demanded a ransom of 150,000 euros. The police operation led to the arrest of 8 suspects, showing that swift and decisive action can save lives and disrupt these violent enterprises, sending a strong message to criminals. In another major success, a large-scale joint operation in October 2024 struck a significant blow to a human smuggling network operating across the region. Police in Bosnia and Herzegovina, working closely with their counterparts in Croatia, Slovenia, and Italy, and supported by Europol, arrested 8 key members of the group. This criminal organization was accused of smuggling at least 1,400 migrants into Italy since 2020. The police raids also uncovered evidence of drug trafficking, seizing weapons, vehicles, and over 50,000 euros in cash. This operation highlights the crucial role of international intelligence sharing and coordinated action in tackling such widespread criminal activities. Croatian authorities have also demonstrated their resolve to combat this crime. Following its entry into the Schengen area in 2023, Croatia intensified its efforts to secure its borders. This has led to a dramatic increase in the number of arrests. In just the first 9 months of 2024, the Croatian police arrested an incredible 1,430 migrant smugglers. This figure represents a nearly 40% increase compared to the same period in the previous year, while most of those arrested were foreign nationals from neighboring countries. The high number of arrests shows that the police are successfully targeting the facilitators of these illegal and dangerous journeys. These successes are not just about arrests. They are about saving people from exploitation and restoring a sense of security. Each successful operation means fewer victims are subjected to forced labor, sexual exploitation, or other forms of abuse. Every rescue is a life changed for the better. These police actions, from large-scale international busts to targeted local rescues, are a testament to the dedication of law enforcement officers on the front lines. They work tirelessly to gather intelligence, conduct surveillance, and execute complex operations to protect the vulnerable and dismantle the criminal structures that prey on human desperation and hope. No single country can win the fight against human trafficking alone. The criminal networks are international, so the police response must be as well. Law enforcement agencies in the Balkans have recognized this and are building stronger partnerships. They collaborate through regional platforms like the Southeast European Law Enforcement Center, which allows for the rapid exchange of intelligence and coordination of joint operations. This cooperation is essential for tracking criminals who move fluidly across borders. When police in Albania share information with their colleagues in Bulgaria, for example, they can close the net on traffickers who think they can escape by simply crossing a border. This spirit of cooperation extends beyond the region to include powerful international partners. Organizations like Europol and the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime provide vital support. They offer access to vast databases, analytical tools, and expertise that local forces might not have. For instance, the cracking of the encrypted Sky ECC communication network by European investigators in 2019 continues to yield valuable intelligence. This information was instrumental in the successful Bosnian operation in October 2024, proving that long-term international police work can lead to major breakthroughs years later, helping to unravel complex criminal conspiracies across the continent. Within each country, specialized police teams and border security forces are also working more closely together. Bosnia and Herzegovina has increased the number of officers and special units patrolling its border with Serbia, particularly along the Drina River, a common crossing point for migrants. Similarly, Croatia's inclusion in the Schengen zone has led to the deployment of more advanced surveillance technology and better trained personnel along its frontiers. This multi-layered approach, combining national border control with internal police work, creates a more formidable barrier against trafficking networks, making it harder for them to operate undetected. Improving skills and knowledge is another critical part of this united front. Police officers, prosecutors, and border guards receive specialized training, often supported by international partners. These programs cover everything from identifying victims of trafficking to conducting complex financial investigations to seize criminal assets. For example, the United Nations Office on Drugs and Crime has provided computer-based training modules on trafficking and organized workshops for financial intelligence units to help them follow the money trail. This investment in capacity building ensures that law enforcement personnel have the modern skills needed to confront and defeat these sophisticated criminal organizations effectively. While cooperation and training are powerful weapons, the fight against human trafficking is severely undermined by a persistent and corrosive problem: corruption. When police officers collaborate with criminals, they betray their duty and the public's trust. This corruption can take many forms, from officers accepting bribes to look the other way at a border crossing to actively helping trafficking gangs. A recent and disturbing case from Serbia illustrates this danger perfectly. A former police translator, Alan Basil Dayub, was arrested for using his official position to aid a smuggling group, even helping them frame their rivals by planting evidence and filing false police reports. This kind of internal betrayal makes the work of honest officers incredibly difficult and dangerous. It creates an environment of mistrust and fear, not only within police forces but also among the public. When people believe the police are corrupt, they are less likely to report crimes or cooperate with investigations, especially vulnerable trafficking victims who already fear the authorities. Corruption erodes the very foundation of the justice system, allowing powerful criminals to operate with impunity. It is a cancer that, if left unchecked, can cripple even the most determined anti-trafficking efforts and leave countless victims without hope of rescue or justice. However, it is important to recognize that these cases of corruption are being exposed and addressed, often thanks to the brave work of investigative journalists and whistleblowers within the system. The exposure of the corrupt translator in Serbia, for instance, was pushed forward by detailed media investigations, which ultimately led to official action and arrests. This shows that transparency and a free press are essential allies in the fight for integrity. Internal affairs units within police departments are also stepping up, conducting their own investigations to root out corrupt officers and restore public confidence in law enforcement. Ultimately, the future of this struggle depends on fostering a culture of integrity and unwavering commitment. The vast majority of police officers in the Balkan region are dedicated public servants who risk their lives to protect others. Their work, combined with strong regional and international partnerships, is the most powerful force against human trafficking. By confronting corruption head-on, investing in continuous training, and strengthening cross-border cooperation, the nations of the Balkans can build a more secure future. Protecting the most vulnerable members of society is the ultimate measure of a just and effective police force, and it is a goal that demands constant vigilance and unwavering honesty.